Gemini, and welcome to your August 2018 general reading. Just a minute to set my timer, and I'm still pulling new cards. And it's interesting, I'm taking a look at your reading, and the first thing that I sort of stood out to me is what you most want. And what you most want is the Queen of Cups, okay? There's some sort of emotional situation here, Gemini, that wants to be healed, okay? I'm just going to pull you a couple more cards. So the Queen of Cups is about love. In this deck, she's standing up and she's going forward offering her cup. So either you want to emotionally reconcile with someone, actually that is what you want. And you've been asked to stay optimistic about your love life. And the message is that it's worth waiting for. Okay, that's very interesting. It really stood out as what you most want is this, because she's got a golden gown, because she's transformed a lot of her. So she's gone through the Five of Cups. She's gone through that change process, and she's now this queen, and it's about resolving some sort of issue. And I think it's definitely to do with your emotional life. But your protector card is a Ten of Wands, which is a really interesting card because it's almost for some Geminis, there were some issues that had to be worked through. So when a challenging card shows up as your protector card, what it's saying is this is not a mistake, okay? So what's happening and what's been happening for you is not a mistake. So there's a feeling maybe, Gemini, that you felt a bit loaded or you haven't felt able to move into the Queen of Cups energy, or someone else hasn't, because of sometimes the Ten of Wands can be just really, really busy, or it can be a lot of psychological issues we're carrying, guilt from the past. The good news is it's a 10. And this process is nearly completed, which is going to allow you to move into the Queen of Cups energy. I've still not pulled you another card. What lies behind you is the Queen of Pentacles and the Nine of Discs. So for some of you, there might be a big focus in the end of July on financial issues. There might be an earth sign person, male or female. But because the Nine of Discs is with it, there's a sense of separation. It's an alone and loving it card. It's not the Three of Swords separation. It's the 9. But there's definitely a sense that you've been concentrating on your own stability, your own sense of well-being, or there's energy around this Queen of Pentacles. Now your challenge is the Judgment card, which is odd because you've got the Six of Cups in your relationship house, which is about reconciliation. It's traditionally a card about reconnecting with someone. It is a card about getting what you want as well. But so why? The Judgment card is still a challenge. And the reason why it's still a challenge is because of these 10 wands. There's still some issues going on here, okay? Give me a minute. Yeah, gosh, I'm laughing. Your additional guidance card is clean it up. Yeah, it's about this 10 of Wands, guys, that you're carrying. Again, it could be too much work, but I'm getting it potentially is a bit more of issues from the past that you're still carrying, that are preventing you being this Queen of Cups, and preventing the Judgment card, which is second chances, beginning again, receiving these divine blessings. It's to do with that 10 of Wands. Anyhow, in your relationship sector, you have got the Six of Cups. I'm going to pull you another card about that 10 of Wands. The Six of Cups is the reconciliation card. It's also my soulmate card, because a soulmate is someone where you see your feelings reflected in another person. So there's an emotional ease between two people. In money and work, you've got the Two of Cups. So some of you might be meeting someone at work, or there's someone that you're working with that's quite a good partnership. Because the Two of Cups isn't always about love, it's also about partnership, moving into a much more balanced situation at work. Okay, with the Ten of Wands comes the Eight of Swords. So there's some Geminis are in a bit of a mental prison about why they can't move forward, why they can't have this Six of Cups and this Judgment and be this Queen of Cups. Because the Eight of Swords is a card about mental imprisonment, but you've got control over it. By the time you get into the Nine, you're in a little bit of an anxiety mess. But the Eight of Swords is more about you have got control over this situation, but you're sort of staying in that prison. And the reason you're staying there is because of these 10 wands. But maybe, Gemini, there's a little bit of maybe it's a process that you've had to go through in order to move to the next chapter. Because we cannot go to our next chapter filled with things from the past. So a cleansing process is not a bad process. At your soul level, you've got the Star card, which is absolutely stunning, because the Star card, when it shows up, it's the healing card. It's also, so if someone is being ill, it's the Star card that brings healing. It's the card of grace. Its negative side would be too much wishfulness and not enough action. So it can quite often appear maybe in a love reading when people are really wanting reconciliation but not doing the actions to move towards it. So sitting saying, oh, I wish for this, but not doing the action. Very interesting, but beautiful cards to have at the level of your soul, because it means there's quite a lot of profound healing going on at a spiritual level. The outcome is the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is the wish-fulfilling card. You look a little bit emotionally satisfied by the end of August, I have to say. It's a card about getting what you want. Its negative side is excess, okay? So it's a real balancing act here, because sometimes when we are really getting what we want, it can be quite a dangerous place because we overdo it, we overindulge. So be careful of that. But the Nine of Cups ultimately is the wish fulfillment card. There's a sense for me, Gemini, that this is definitely about your emotions and reconciling with someone, okay? And what I like is your intentions are really quite high because it's the Queen of Cups. But that Ten of Wands, it might have a message of, I just said it's not going to quite happen yet, and that's why you got worth waiting for. Because sometimes we go into periods where we're in grief, sometimes we go into periods where we're having to deal with past actions. It's not a negative. It's not the most pleasurable, fun-loving side of life. But we can't take these 10 wands into our new reality. So we have to put them down. And that's why it's showing up in quite as a protector. It's sort of saying to get to this new chapter that you really want, which is the Nine of Cups, then it's essential that you start to put these 10 wands down. And maybe you do feel in a little bit of a mental prison, but it's okay for you to be dropping these wands, thinking it's okay, I can wait until I purge this business. I know you've got a little bit of a, it's not a complex reading, it's actually really, really quite, but the Sun card's just appeared. And its message is always relax, everything's going to be okay. Okay, there's a chapter completing itself because you got the World card. But there's a chance, Gemini, your energy might feel a bit low as well with that Ten of Wands. But the message is you're going through this is not a negative. It's almost like a sweeping. You know the Tower card, when it comes in and it sweeps things clean? It's almost a little bit like that. And what it's saying is this purging, this waiting time is not a negative. And you're moving towards the Sun card, this brand new cycle. It might be this reconciliation, for some of you who are having it, might still be, it might still come with some difficulty, okay? But the overriding message is the same, Gemini, that this is a healthy issue. It's not a mistake. And really cards at the Judgment, which are about new beginnings and blank slates. You cannot get a blank slate if you're still carrying these 10 wands. So they need to come down so you can feel this energy of new beginnings, of thank you, of receiving divine blessings, because you can't receive this if you're in this. So the message from the universe is almost saying you're exactly where you need to be. The love that you're wanting is worth waiting for, but it's a work in process. I actually really, really liked your reading, Gemini, to tell you the truth. I think it's quite deep. It's almost, because everyone's, Mars is retrograde, so a lot of people are feeling quite weighted down and quite tired in order for the Mars to go forward at the end of August. And yours is going forward in a really great way. So you might have to bear with it a little bit, but keep dropping these 10 of Wands so you can move towards this rebirth, Gemini, because it's going to be good. Okay? I wish you all the best. Bye.